no idea what we're doing.
We are live right now. Hello, everybody. We will just give it a few moments to see some people come in the chat. If you're listening now, just let us know if the audio is sounding good, and then we'll get started. It's been a pretty busy week for those following us on Twitch lately. We had 2 live coding sessions yesterday. So this is almost going to be 3 in the space of 24 hours. Cool, looks like Stream Elements is just kicking in. We'll just wait for the first few people to come into the chat, and then we'll kick off. We've got a very exciting weekly wrap up. Cool, we're looking good there. All right, we've got BX Renzo, River Ambo. Welcome to the chat. Thank you for joining us. This is a super special weekly wrap up. Azaro, nice. Joining you here yesterday and joining today as well. Love to see the returning viewers. Shinon, good morning. All right, chat's getting flooded now. Hello everyone. Thank you for joining us today in Sunflower Studios. I'm joined by none other than the Bumpkin Builder, Spencer.
How is everyone? Sorry, I've had a bit of a morning, but I'm here now. Happy to be here with everyone, talk about all the cool stuff that has happened this past week.
Yeah, we've got Romy and Craig in the other room here. They may join us. They're busy building out Bumpkin's experience, stamina, and all those things. Before we jump in, just a quick disclaimer. We are not financial advisors. In fact, I'm a terrible investor when it comes to crypto, so please don't listen to me for any advice. Crypto is always risky, and please do your own research. We do discuss concepts in the game. It doesn't mean that they're locked into the game. We frequently change these things. We listen to the community. So if we mention something today that requires certain resources, don't go start hoarding those resources right now. We may change that feature and you may be upset. That out of the way, today is pretty special. We've been in the trenches the last couple of months, and it was about time that we gave the community a bit of an update of the overall progress of Sunflower Land and the vision of where it is heading. So we're going to go through this document here and go over some of those core features and also show what ones of these are done and what's in progress and what's coming. I think you'll be quite surprised to see all of the progress that the team has made. We've been releasing features like Cakes and the Goblin War in the front, but we've actually been doing a lot of heavy work behind the scenes to build out the future of the game. So super excited to share this with you. Before I jump in, Spencer, is there anything you want to add about the team and what we've been doing?
No, I think you said it exactly like how I would say it. It's been wild to be part of such a small team that is so productive. There's only 4 of us. We have a lot going on, and like Adam said, we had a plan of kind of things that we could release as we were doing all of these other things in the background. So it's like we've been balancing both, and it's been working out. But like some days I'm just so surprised. We start on Monday, we talk about what we're gonna build that week, and we just kind of smash it out. Everything's coming along really well.
Yeah,
it's like we had a catch up. Maybe a week and a half ago, just kind of about all the things that we had remaining for land expansion, just to, for everyone to have a kind of clear overview of everything. And I was excited to see that we're really on track, which is super exciting.
I remember about 3 months ago when we did drop our roadmap. I think we're ambitious to say the least, and we were going to launch land expansion, NFTs. We wanted to launch Bumpkins, this dynamic NFT concept, and these things hadn't been built before, especially the Bumpkin concept.
I don't even think we'd fully fleshed out the Bumpkin concept. It was like we knew we were going to have these bumpkins. We knew that they were going to be NFTs, but we didn't. It was like we'd all, seen all of these things in the world, experienced these things, and then we kept talking about it, and finally it was like born. We had one session where we just pivoted hard and just kind of like smashed it out.
Yeah.
Which was so inspiring, to be so agile and have the ability to just kind of like be influenced, change your mind, make new decisions. It's been really rad.
Yeah. Hello, Jay Sneaks, Zachariah. Lovely to have you all. Is that Zico? Zico is back in the chat. We've missed you since your Discord banning. It's great to have you back. What Spencer was saying, like when we did set off this, like we're going to build this in 3-4 months, there was quite a lot of doubt that we could do this. We had this concept that no other project had achieved before, so we didn't exactly know how much work it was going to take. But every week we're feeling more confident in what we've built and getting it done. Like, is that sort of how you're feeling each week, where it's actually like, shit, this is actually coming together?
100%. I think we all moved into this field having not worked in it before. Like everyone knows the origin story. This was a side project that Adam put together, and then we all kind of moved over here with him. So a lot of the things that we're doing, it's like first time. It's like that moment of discovery. You're reading docs, you're trying to understand stuff, you're listening to podcasts, you're doing all these things, and you're just getting super motivated. But it's like every day you're learning something new. So when we looked at that roadmap, it's like, sure, we can do all of that, but like really not having an idea of, like it's ambitious for sure, but like not really understanding what we were coming up against. But now that we're, well into it, I'm really inspired. I'm super inspired by, the community, our capacity to learn, our agility, like all of those things. I'm super inspired, and we're just getting it done. I mean, it's inspiring enough to just make you do the damn thing.
I think our naivety has been our secret weapon this whole time, because we're like, why are NFTs all these static images? Why can't you equip it with new things? Like, let's just do that. When other projects who've been in the space for like 2-3 years, you're like, no, you can't do that. That's 100%. Not the way NFTs work.
100%. We're not bogged down by like preconceived notions or a history of doing this or doing that, or like being influenced by many things. It's kind of we're actually free to make our own decisions. So long as Adam says it's okay, we'll do it.
The rule master. All right, so let's jump into this document that we just launched this morning. We shared it with the community. Hopefully you've already checked it out by now, but if you haven't, we're going to deep dive into it. And so if you do want to check this out, you can go to docs.sunfireland.com, and there's this roadmap and launch section on the left here. And so the premise of this document is to give you a bit of an insight of what is coming up. I think when we look at this intro paragraph, the very important thing we want to get across here, that beta was definitely a validation of ideas and concepts that we wanted to play around with. I think we've beyond validated these ideas of like tokenization, that you can completely own everything in the game, like your eggs, your chickens, whatever it is. We've also found a lot of flaws and important lessons around how do we build this for production ready and to be scalable. But throughout this entire beta period, it's almost been like we've had the training wheels on. Like we've purposely not just gone crazy releasing new resources, new crops, new NFTs, new items, because we wanted to have like a controlled environment. And when we do release this full idea of the Sunflower metaverse, it's kind of like we take those training wheels off, and it's just going to be more crops, more resources, more animals, endless sort of features and content that will be coming out. And so we've just been super busy behind the scenes building out this framework and looking at how beta has been going so far to make sure that we just have this awesome game when we launch.
There's a lot of lessons to learn. I think we've Beta has been such a beautiful playground, like we've been so blessed to have such an engaged community, to always kind of be listening, to try to be as connected to the community as possible, to kind of gain perspective of how things are working, things that aren't working, trying to iterate. Yeah, it's been super cool. I'm so excited for land expansion.
Yeah. And this here, so we've got, this is quite big that we just dropped this morning. We have released the map, which you can almost look at this as a roadmap for the game, but the map of the whole Sunflower metaverse as it stands. There will be more areas added around this, but this is what we're looking for as the production ready game. Super excited for players that have been playing so far. You've been restricted to just this area. So everyone playing beta right now, you're very familiar with Sunflower Land, where you've got your village, you've got your farm, and Goblin Village, where you can go and mint rare items and do a lot of on-chain activity. And so we built this map here to give a bit of a sense of how the metaverse of Sunflower Land is structured, and also to show you what is coming soon. We use a really good asset pack that's like this map library to build this out. And I think it's awesome just to breathe a bit of life into this world that players have been playing in, and almost like broaden the horizons for what's coming. And the big thing that we want to touch on here is the Sunflower Isle. Is that how you say it? Isles? I guess.
Isles, yeah.
Isles, yeah. And so we can't leak too much around the storyline of the war and what is happening. But when we launch Sunflower Land, players will be able to explore and visit the islands. And so this is definitely the direction the game is going, and this is where a lot of exciting gameplay mechanics are going to come into. This is what's frequently been referred to as land expansion. This core concept where you start on an island and you can keep expanding your land, discovering new resources, new buildings. It really is sort of limitless. You can just keep going and discovering new things. You'll also be able to visit these islands around here. So we've got our community island. The goblins will be returning and sort of habitating their own island. And there's some few other ones here that we can't leak quite yet. But there's going to be a lot of things, a lot of area to expand into. And so if we look at what we have built so far, we've done this concept of NFT land generation, and this random resource generation. And so once you start your land and you expand it, each piece is an actual NFT on the blockchain. And each one of that is, since it's an NFT, it's unique. And that means that it has a random amount of resources, it has a different layout. So it really is the luck of the draw as you expand your land, what you get. But it's awesome because everyone will get a slightly different experience. This was not really an easy feat to do this idea of like lots and lots of NFTs expanding, but we built out the infrastructure of that, and that's all up and running on testnet. And so you will need to collect a bunch of different resources, stone, wood, clay, perhaps. We're still locking that in to be able to expand your pieces of land. Anything you want to add on that idea of land expansion?
No, I think you covered it. I think, like you said, what's super exciting about it is it's limitless. It's kind of like it can just grow and grow and grow, and it can grow with us, it can grow with the community, it can grow with, like ideas can kind of grow with it. It's like we don't know everything about land expansion yet, but we have the infrastructure that allows us to dream big, which is just super inspiring, because it's like, you think it's going to be one way and then it could so easily be another way. So right now we have the infrastructure to do these things, and then where that takes us is kind of really unknown.
Yeah. So behind the scenes as well, we've done the construction of buildings. So there's going to be a bunch of different buildings. This time, when you unlock a building, you'll construct it, burn your resources, and place it wherever you want on your land. So we're definitely moving towards the idea of more customization, that you get to decide how the land looks, how things are structured, all those SFTs, like rare items that you have right now, whether it's the Foreman Beaver, Kubiku, you can place that where you want on your farm. In terms of land expansion, we've got a few extra things to tick off, which is some bonus buildings. So this is a new type of gameplay, new type of boosts that you can get. These are some of them. There's going to be a few more. We've got the tent, markets, and the water well. These will help you improve and expand your farming empire. We're going to have decorations as well. So if you're someone that really likes sprucing up your farm for when your friends visit, you'll be able to buy some decorations. We're going to be launching some bonus resources. So these are 2BD, but you can get an idea. There's going to be things like coal, clay, diamond, kale, which is a new crop, magic seeds, and mutant crops as well. So we're planning to include these in the launch. This is in bold because this is super exciting, but I'm going to save this for a separate day to talk about this one. And the last one here is the level gated islands. So there's going to be a lot of content and different areas of gameplay that you can access based on your bumpkin level. So only the real OG bumpkins or people that are grinding hard will get access to certain areas in the game. And they'll also get certain access to certain Discord channels. We also want to do some bonus content. I'd love to do like some Twitches, live streaming or Q&As just with bumpkins of a certain level. Super exciting there. This is one of the core pieces, land expansion, that we've been working on. The beta testing for this, we're aiming to begin in November. So that is super close. We're already halfway through September, and in November we're going to give restricted access to the top warriors. So if you're playing the game right now, if you become, each week, if you're one of the top 10 warriors, you will get a warrior badge, and that will give you early access to land expansion. But we're also going to give it to the top 100 players based on their experience. So keep farming, keep shopping, keep mining if you want to get into that group. We've just had someone say 1st of November, trying to push us forward on the release date. We'll keep it at November. I think it's dangerous locking in a specific date, but we want that beta testing to start in November.
Someone else asked about an XP snapshot so that people know what to aim for, like when we'll be doing that XP snapshot. We'll definitely make an announcement about that just to make sure that everybody knows, so that everybody understands that that's the day that we're taking. Yeah, so we don't have a date right now, but we'll definitely announce it before we decide on beta testers.
Yeah, exactly. This next big piece, which we've done a few sessions on bumpkins before, this is pretty much done. And so we're releasing this concept of build your bumpkin, where you get to build your own NFT. The idea here is that it's a customizable NFT and SFT collection. And so an SFT is a semi-fungible token, and that will represent things like red farmer shirt, pants, pitchfork, shoes. Each of those will be a token that players can trade amongst themselves if they want. Or you can send it to your bumpkin and equip that to your bumpkin. So this is a key difference where we're tokenizing all these items, and a lot of the value will come from whatever different combination of items you collect. So you might have a rare hat, rare shoes, and you can apply them to your bumpkin and make it one of a kind. This is a unique feature because a lot of the previous ones we've built, they're only compatible inside of Sunflower Land. Like you can only expand land inside of Sunflower Land. What we wanted to do with Bumpkins is build it on top of Sunflower Land. And the reason we want to do that is because, sure, you can use this inside of Sunflower Land. You can get boosts. You can put it on your farm. You can show off. But we also wanted to make it accessible for people that didn't want to play the game. If they were just collectors, that they could still mint a Bumpkin and mint rare clothing and dress up their NFT. This is great for the Sunflower Metaverse because all of the items inside of that Bumpkin shop, it's going to be based on SFL and perhaps resources that you can only get from playing Sunflower Land. So it just sort of strengthens the actual Sunflower Land metaverse and gives more utility to it.
This is super exciting, and anyone who plays Sunflower Land should be excited about Bumpkins. It's really adding a lot of utility for all of the hard work that you're doing. Bumpkin items will be, the currency for Bumpkin items will be SFL, so people outside of Sunflower game will need to use SFL to purchase these items for a Bumpkin. Bumpkins kind of can be your PFP, they can be a collectible, they can be something that you're kind of like building over time. There's so much utility for this, not just in the game. Hopefully in the future there's utility around Bumpkins visiting other games. It's kind of endless, and it's great because it goes hand in hand with land expansion. It's like these two really kind of, limitless concepts that are different. They're different, but they interact together, which is kind of the beauty of Web3. Like all of these, and the metaverse, it's like all of these different things, different concepts, kind of tying together in some way or another. Yeah, Bumpkins are like, I don't know, they're really cute, man. I'm really excited about them.
We had there's a few questions about collecting sets, specifically questions around the Bumpkin Warrior set. So we will release bonus boosts if you collect all items in a set. So I think the question specifically around the Warrior set is if you get the head, the helmet, the top, the pants, and maybe some other items, will you get a bonus? The answer is yes. We're not going to release those bonuses quite yet, but the idea is, if you collect the full set, you will get an extra bonus on top. So in game, you can get some extra utility. Another example is the chef set. So if you have the chef hat and the chef apron, there's going to be other items in that set. If you collect all of them and you're wearing those,
your cakes are going to be next level, mate.
You'll have golden cakes.
You'll be making wedding cakes by then. No more sunflower cakes. It's just like free tiered wedding cakes from here on
out. This one's exciting because if you look at the progress here, we've done minting a Bumpkin NFT. This will be free for all Sunflower Land players. Once you have a Bumpkin, you'll have to pay for your next one if you want to get more. We've done the SFT collection, smart contracts there. We've done the art design, all the templates, dynamic profile picture image generator. All this stuff is getting, because you can equip whatever you want, we're generating images on the fly. We've got a website, testnet, up and running. We've got a shop front. We've got this idea of soulbound SFTs. Like if you drink a potion, you burn that and can't use it again. We've got equipping. We've got actually using these items inside of the game. The last one that we have here is we want to launch with a few more community art contributions. We are community driven, and we want to give the chance for a lot of artists to get some of their work inside of the game.
It's pretty wild when you look at that checklist to think that, like we did most of this stuff in like, I don't know, a couple weeks, 2 weeks.
Yeah, smashed it.
It was so exciting, once you see the shop front for all of this, it's like, it's super exciting. Get excited if you're not already.
Yeah, it looks like Zico is pretty excited.
He's been pumped from the beginning, so Yeah.
Zico's right.
He's up in caps right now. He can't handle it.
Yeah, it's all uppercase.
It's all uppercase for Z.
I'm literally shacking from happiness.
Shacking, I love it.
As this is like a long-awaited thing that I feel I've seen grow from a child into graduating from university right now.
We're all shacking, mate.
We're shacking. So we got bumpkins. Another big concept when we go live is going to be cooking, feeding, and increasing your bumpkin energy. Energy/stamina is sort of what we're using right now. The idea here is that if you want to boost your bumpkins' capabilities, so not only their ability to unlock new buildings and whatnot, but also increase their energy, their boost, their utility, you have to cook items and feed those to your bumpkin. And when you feed that to your bumpkin, you will earn experience. And so, like most games, once you're earning experience, you level up, you get skill points, and you can choose certain things inside of a skill tree. This is going to go live with Sunflower Isles, which is super exciting. For those that were watching yesterday, we were live streaming building this out. We've actually got a PR open for this modal right now, this concept in the game. Spencer this week has actually been working super hard on the idea of cooking, and Romy and Craig have been working on the idea of the stamina replenish algorithm. And right now they're in the other room working on feeding a bumpkin, and I believe they're going to go live right after this stream. They're going to start live streaming the coding, live development of that. Spencer, is there anything you want to add on the idea of cooking that you think will be some useful info for the listeners?
I think conceptually it's pretty similar to crafting items currently in the game. So like crafting your weapons. The difference with this is it comes with like time-based, like cooking takes time. And when you couple that with stamina of your bumpkin, it kind of becomes this other thing you have to think about, this other strategy that you have to think about when playing the game. Like right now, you do a lot of planting, you strategize around what you're going to plant, the time it takes for things to grow. This is another added element where like, you can only do so many actions that are kind of physical actions with your bumpkin in a day. Mm-hmm. And therefore you need to grow crops, to cook food, to feed, to get more stamina. So it really adds this whole other complexity. And I'm super excited to see how the community breaks down, like strategizes together as a community, which was a massive part of what the community has done with the current iteration of the game. Strategizing around crops to plant, time it takes, what this is worth, etc. So it'll be interesting to see what this added kind of, strategic layer does and adds and kind of brings for players.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun to work on. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah. It's all coming together, all of these core mechanics of the game. So right now, team's working on feeding the bumpkin, where we're also going to have the skill system and achievements. And so that is it for us going sort of live with the Sunflower Isles in November for beta testing. It's going to have all these concepts in there. We're going to have bumpkins, we're going to have land expansion, we're going to have the cooking, feeding, and bumpkin energy. More resources, more buildings, more minerals, more things to explore. It's going to be super exciting. There's a question here saying, when is it going to go live? Is November, from Lookalike, in November early access will start, so full launch is not in early November. Look, if beta testing goes well, hopefully we can at least open up for all the current Sunflowerland players. That's the aim. We're hoping for a public launch of this, late November, early December. There's also the question of when do we take the beta tag off the product? And so I think a big part of this is still balancing the game and making sure we can scale to millions of users. When we do launch Sunflower Islands, it'll be in beta for a few weeks.
Yeah.
Definitely, while we still got to balance and tweak a few things and listen to feedback from the community. So we'll still have that beta tag. Once we're happy with the design, it's going to be a full-fledged launch. There's going to be a big marketing campaign. We've got a lot of PR. Well, Steve has lined up a lot of PR for the game as well. And so the answer there is that once we're comfortable that the game is balanced and scaled, and we've listened to like the critical feedback from the community, then we'll go live and it'll just be like open the floodgates for all the players to come.
I think that, I don't know if it's something that we've talked about so much on streaming, but one of our core fundamental goals at Thought Farm with Sunflower Land is to basically onboard and educate Web 2 into Web 3. So one of the things that Web 3 lacks is definitely this UX experience, and how do you make these really complicated concepts be easily digestible to someone who just wants to play a farming game. Like that's not really an easy feat, but it's something that we're tying into, this new iteration of the game, is kind of how do we do that? So when we say open up the floodgates, we literally mean it. Like we literally mean anyone, someone who played Farmville because it was like super easy to kind of access, can also do the same thing with Sunflower Land. So beta in this sense, like when we talk about beta for Sunflower Isles or like land expansion, it's not this long drawn out experience that we've had so far. This was something like we had a game, the game, had to be taken down, we rebuilt, but then we've learned so many things during that rebuilding to come up with this version of the game. This version of the game will not sit in beta for a super long time. This is kind of like we open it up to beta in early November, we iron out any of the bugs that may come along, and then we release it.
Yeah, we're kind of putting everything on the table right now. Like we've hired another engineer, and we're going to go really crazy on marketing and partnerships, and just because we've done zero marketing. Up until this point.
We're really hesitant. It's like we have opportunities, but we're really hesitant because this isn't really, we don't want to open up the floodgates and have people not love, it's not that you don't love Sunflower Land, but like there's things with it, there's a limited cap on what you can do, for example. We want to give the people kind of the ability to just run wild with this game. So
yeah, it's a good point. If you look at the inbox, it's just flooded with exchanges or wallets that want to list SFL or partner with us and integrate with us. And our approach right now has been like, look, we're excited, we want to work with you, but we're not going to jump the gun.
Yeah.
We've got one chance to get this influx of players, and if we don't do it right and the game doesn't scale or the economy is not balanced, it's not going to last very long. Yeah. And so it's always just been like, cool, the response right now, let's hold off for a few months. Once we launch, it'll just be like foot on the pedal.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're super grateful for the community who have been patient, who have been waiting for content and gameplay, and they've been sticking around. And we hope you like what we've been building. Like, I'm super excited to get this out.
Yeah, same.
Cool. So this is, up until what I just showed you there, this is what we are going live with November, and those top players can start experimenting with it. Following that, we'll start scaling out some more gameplay features. This isn't in any sort of order yet, and this isn't locked into the roadmap. It'll just be based on community feedback, what the next features people wanna. But once this goes live, we're not just going to stop there. We've got to move on to the next thing and building new fun features and more things to do. And so right now we're looking at fishing, honey and bees, social farming as well. So being able to not only visit farms, but actually interact or do some sort of co-op together. And then the idea of guilds, so forming groups inside of Sunflower Land. This is super important because in Web3, community, identity, and a sense of belonging is everything. And so we want to build this in as like a first-class citizen. And when I say guilds here, I don't so much mean the blockchain gaming scholarship guilds. This is more the traditional RPG guild where you can form together with a bunch of friends, create some sort of group. You can collect resources together. You can strategize together. You can do quests in the future together. That's sort of the aim that we want to take there. And this, by the way, is just the gameplay side of things. It does not include plans for marketplace partnerships, listing partnerships, all of that. This is purely game focused. Mate, before we maybe jump onto a little giveaway, a little competition, is there anything you wanted to add to this?
When cows, mate. I see fishing, honey and bees, but
I forgot cows on there.
So rude. It's like, this acts like we don't even exist. Nah, there's nothing really to add. It will be super exciting. It's kind of like all of these things will will kind of like flow on from one another. Once we release this, our underlying work or the, list items here will be done. So we can start to move on to kind of the next big thing. I mean, anyone that's seen the fishing proposal knows what an amazing feature or gameplay feature fishing is going to be. So I'm super pumped for that. Honey and bees is something that's been on the table for a really long time as well. Social farming, I remember we had a little diagram up on the whiteboard for ages around this concept of a community garden. I think, look, I can't stress enough that this is like the dream job. It's like, can you imagine getting to work on this all the time? I'm super excited for all of it, to be honest.
There's Adam D got games. Adam lactose intolerant confirmed.
It's not wrong. I mean, it's not 100% wrong. Just doesn't have the drive. Doesn't have the drive for cows, mate.
Nah. That might be a feature that just gets slipped into the code base when I'm on holidays.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. I hope you're excited. You know where to find this, docs.sunflower-land.com. Please share this. Please get excited about what is happening. We got to do, I think it's tradition on the weekly wrap-up that we do a little bit of a giveaway. Being the theme of war right now, we will give away a war pack, which will be 400 war bonds,
Ooh.
50 gold, and some SFL as well. We'll chuck some axes in there as well. Axes and beetroots.
Beetroots?
Yeah, so we'll do war bonds, axes, beetroot, SFL. Not beetroots, radish, because this week's challenge is axes and radishes. We'll chuck some of those in there. Last week we did the challenge around sending items on the blockchain, I believe it was. This time we want to do something different. I like the idea of trivia, and I'm sorry to put you on the spot here, Spencer. Is there any fun fact Sunflower Land trivia we could ask? And before you get in there, the way we'll work this is the first person to answer this in the stream chat will get this package. If you submit the answer, you need to include your farm ID and the answer. And the first person to do that will win that war pack, which will appear on your farm. Do you have any good trivia questions?
Okay, so we first kind of came out with this idea of land expansion, or this leak of this idea of land expansion, by covering half of the map with clouds. The way in which we communicated that was through a little NPC character that was down in the clouds. What was the exact text that exists in the modal for that little NPC character?
Oh. So
I'll repeat it again. When there's a little NPC character hiding in the clouds in the map, what is the exact text that he has in his little modal when you click on him?
I think it's something like can I see through these clouds, or
something like that.
I can't see anything through these thick clouds.
Oof, look at that. We have to just confirm
that sounds like it. Let's so someone's just chucked the address in there just to try and get it. So we've had someone. I can't see anything through these stick clouds. So let's Okay, so Cell Power's the first
Cell
person.
Power was the first.
We're just
Let's
going to
just
see.
confirm to that way.
I can't see.
Ooh, there's more though.
So we did ask for the exact
the
words
exact.
that they said. So Cell Power gave the first one.
But not everything. It might be Master Deeds there. The next one down. Gave the. I wonder if I'll get
Through
to
the,
see
but they wrote through the stick clouds.
Oh yeah.
We,
Mate, come on.
if we disqualified the first one for not
Yeah, we
being
have to.
exact, we have to
I
find
can't
the
see anything.
first
to do with
person
stick
that
cloud.
was exact.
There we go. It's this one,
Mr.
Mr. Gran.
Mr. Grand, Farm 1217. We are sticklers at Sunflower Land for grammar. Thank you very much for posting the correct answer in there. You will find a rewards chest pop up on your farm, hopefully later today. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you everyone for joining this stream. Spread the word about the Sunflower Metaverse and start preparing some resources. See you later, everyone.
See you later, guys.